Peoples of the universe, please attend carefully. The message that follows is vital to the future of you all.
What the hell? What? What? I'm somewhat at a loss of words, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. I am assuming that you have seen the Doctor Who Comic Con. If you haven't seen it, no problem. I took furious notes for it. We're going to go through the whole thing. Tomorrow I'm going to release a video doing a commentary on a part of it, which is, spectacularly, painfully bad. And let me tell you, it's spectacularly, painfully bad in a sea of painfully, spectacularly bad. I am blown away by the sheer incompetence. I mean, look, Chris Chibnall, if you hate marketing, which you clearly do, he clearly hates me on camera and talk. Hire somebody. Oh my God. Make them the executive producer or whatever and make them the face. Like this, Chibnall is crawling or is turning around in his own skin. Like, he is so not cis. Let me tell you, that must be why the crazies love him, because he is so not cis. As the series isn't either. We have the trailer with lots of rainbows. Oh, just innocent rainbows, rainbows, inclusive rainbows. Like, we know what it means, baby. We know what it means. Like, and nobody had any trouble, right? We're all like, okay, that guy's a fag, that guy's not. Like, who gives a shit? Oh my God! Like, oh, he likes to sleep with women. Okay, I'll tell you. I like to sleep with porn stars dressed as schoolgirls, right? That's what I would like to do. I don't actually get to do what I like a lot of the time, okay? But it doesn't matter that you like. It doesn't really matter, right? We all like shit, okay? Nobody was judging you by your sexuality up until 2 years ago. And what the hell? That's just weird. They're just weirdos. That's the problem. They're freaking weirdos, and they are not comfortable in their skin, as you can tell by Christian or Jodie Whittaker is, because she's a moron, right? Jodie Whittaker is very comfortable in her skin. She's like, hey, hello, everybody. And Amanda Gill, I don't think I mean, honestly, it's I don't know how you like who's using the family brain cell this week, Mandy? I mean, really. Oh, she's not the brightest spark, and she's reasonably attractive, right? And she knows how to put makeup on. Reasonably attractive, knows how to put makeup on, and because of those two things, her being an absolute vacuous moron has been able to just slide by, right? That's been okay. And I don't look. I'm sure she's a lovely person, but she's also a vacuous moron, right? As you can see, it's like you know. It's always a bad idea when they bring Biden out, right? That never. Okay, when Biden comes out, when he finishes it, nobody goes, well, that made me feel better, right? Nobody ever said that, right? Nobody ever said that ever. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. And then John Bishop was essentially, he looked like he'd been kidnapped. He did. He was like, I don't know. There's these people here. Chalky likes to dress as a Dalek. I don't know. I mean, like, that basically what I mean for like 43 minutes. It was very strange. Anyway, I need to be able to decompress this through, some kind of form of human shielding, right? He will be acting as my condom tonight to try and protect you from the vicissitudes of my wrath. I hope not. I have chosen a hardy man, a man that only a few would be capable of this task. Who hasn't seen it? I've got to talk him through it. It's, of course, the one, the only Dr. Alex. How are you doing?
I'm very well. The weird thing is, I regarded you as the condom. You're the one protecting me from Comic-Con and all the crap.
Oh, that is also true. Well, you see, we'll call it like a sort of spiritual reach around, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bi-directional
It's
condom.
like we're mutually we're also both mutually. I'm just thinking, you look very much like the Emperor there. You've got to get yourself some kind of like Emperor Death Star or like Palpatine background, right? Or like his office or something like that.
Right.
You could be you definitely, I mean, you got to stop smiling. But other than that, you got the, I mean, you could be smiling as you like torturing a small animal. I don't know. But that seems a bit.
Do you think I look like Ian McDermott?
Well, yeah, that's basically. Well, yes, that's a roundabout way I was trying to say. I'm just trying to say I miss my dad. Okay, no. But that was nothing like Ian McDermott. I want to be out. Is he still alive? He's still alive, right?
Oh yeah. He's still
okay. Fine. Okay, because that could have gone in very bad taste. Anyway, I digress. This thing was an embarrassment, right? I'm going to spoil a couple of things. They have a special mystery guest. There was much speculation. Who's the mystery guest? Oh, and it really was. We were kind of intrigued. So that was a stroke of genius because it was okay. I had three different options. Right? I thought either they're going for Tom Baker, right? They need to bring people in. They need to and like have Tom Baker as a voice. You know, the voice of the TARDIS computer or some other stupid bullshit that they would do.
I think we were all dreading it would be somebody good because that would be
exactly. They would do it.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
I don't think you can spoil anything. I think you're bringing with good news. I suspect.
Yeah. Oh no, it's very good because you never heard of him. I mean, like I know him. I've seen him in TV. I've liked the show he was in. I still have never heard of him, right? And I always looked at the person who was on screen with much more than him. He was like, oh yeah, anybody could have done that. Have you seen Game of Thrones?
Yeah, I have. I stopped about season 4.
Oh, you're a smart man. You're a smart man. Anyway, I only wish I think season 5 was okay. But do you remember Grey Worm?
Yes.
The scintillating character. He was the head, the chief eunuch warrior. Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yes.
He was the special mysterious guest, right? Grey Worm, the eunuch warrior. What?
He was fine in Game of Thrones, but
he was fine.
Wow! Look at that. Yeah.
He seems that's a lovely chap. I have nothing against him, but yeah, it was like he was mostly on screen with what was that? Emmanuel. I can't remember her name. The most beautiful woman ever to walk the earth. The translator in Game of Thrones, like literally.
Another one you mean? Yeah.
Emmanuel Bertel. So she just literally, and like, I'm sorry, you may be acting your little socks off there, mate.
Yeah,
I'm not watching.
I believe Grey Worm, the actor's name again has escaped me. I think he also has a career in music as a.
Yeah. They said that. His name is. I look at my notes. It says "Grey fucking Worm." What is caps? What? Jacob Anderson.
His music's actually quite good, but even so,
who gives a shit?
Yeah, it's not relevant for this.
Yeah, no, it's not Tom Baker. It's not David Tennant. You know, I thought they finally guilted David Tennant into it, like No, nothing that intelligent. And then they. I wonder if this guy's replacing Captain Jack. Who else is there? Then I thought you could go really mundane. It's going to be Sacha Dhawan or like Joe Martin, or you want to go crazy, maybe Alex Kingston, right? They were kind of hinting at Alex Kingston earlier today.
Yeah, Alex Kingston would have been the least disappointing of the ones for our camp. It's like,
right,
it's a bit of a shame, but we don't really care that much.
Right,
but it's a shame she did it. But she didn't even do it. So,
but it was this. I mean, like, I'm sure he's a lovely guy, but that is not a special guest. That's your guest star. But like special guest star. It's like that's who he is. Who gives a shit? What the? And it's okay. So the other thing is, it's one story, and it goes. So it's going to be either an 8-part story or 6-part story. But it's going to be like a mega epic. They say it's the biggest thing ever. They're going big, super big.
Hang on. Are you saying he's in one story or the season is one story?
Both.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. I mean, I
guess that makes sense.
I'll come back in a minute.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense given that they had this limited nature. So I don't know if it's going to be the 6 episodes plus 2 they're doing next year, or the 8. Because you know what information they gave us.
Yes,
absolutely nothing. No,
Yeah.
they told us about this guy, and then we had a trailer for like that was like 40 seconds long and unimpressive, and we saw a couple of stills from it. It was like no air date, no
That's something I'd actually be interested in.
yeah, no confirmation of any monsters. Now I want to point out, we know there's Sontarans. Those pictures were leaked, okay? No, we know they're Sontarans. We know they're Weeping Angels. We know they're Daleks, okay? We all know, okay? What are you... And, like, Chibnall is such a freaking useless marketer. Oh, I want to strangle him.
Wait. That's unfair. He's not just a useless marketer. He's useless at pretty much everything.
Apparently so. I mean, I don't understand. If you can't do that job, get somebody who can do that job.
Yes.
Yeah,
that actually applies to most of his show running. I mean, if you can't market it, get a marketing guy. If you can't write, get writers who are more competent than you are.
Yeah. You can call him like the executive director, the executive assistant director, whatever. You give him some kind of stupid title. And he's the one make it Crystal D, whatever annoying shit you want to do. I don't care. Please have somebody enthusiastic about this boring pap. Oh God.
I'm sorry. It's so bad for you've had to sit through.
Oh, exactly. Well, let me introduce you to Dr. Alex. I don't have your bloody book next to me. That's the trouble I get for actually reading it. If you find this era agonizing, and who wouldn't, and you long for a time of Capaldi once again, and it all fit together. You know, actually, they do say this week is my bar mitzvah parsha. Like each week, the Bible is serialized, right? And so this week is my bit, right? It's called Shabbat Nachamu. Nachamu is when there's after the exile, after like shit has gone down, then there's like a comforting Nachamu. So that's the they explain what is Nachama, what is this thing Nachamu, what is real comfort, right? That's in the end of days when in the messianic time, it's not that the suffering will end. It's not just a cessation of badness. No, it's an ability to look back and see how everything was necessary to bring you to this point, and all those things that serve to be like curses are actually blessings. Basically, the point of the movie Signs, which I really quite enjoyed. That was the last M. Night Shyamalan movie. That was good. And what the hell's going on with him and John Barrowman? Did you hear about that?
What? Hang on, with M. Night Shyamalan and
M. Night Shyamalan and John Barrowman. So John Barrowman went to see the M. Night Shyamalan's movie called Old, right? And he said it was awful, utter shite. And I'm quoting them. And they got a refund because they hated it that much, right? And I think that's a bit dickish, quite frankly. Right. Like unless it's not as advertised at all, right? I mean, you go in and it's like they've done a bait and switch totally, right?
Yeah.
If the trailer's representative, which I'm sure it is, shut up. You paid your money, you spent, but whatever. The crazies, the Twitter crazies went crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, they always go crazy. So they were going mad with John Barrowman because of this game. But I did know. So he posted another movie review, this time of the movie Trolls, and said, "I just love trolls. They just make me laugh, especially the funny trolls." And he trolled the trolls. And they don't like that. So anyway, I see that's a pleasant topic. I'm not talking about the god awful Comic-Con panel. Fine. Let me say hello to everybody in the chat. I was introducing you. This is Dr. Alex. He has a YouTube channel. Please go and subscribe to it. Also, he has a very good book that I'm studying. I keep getting other things happen that I got to bloody take care of, so I can't finish it. So if you yearn for a day, that's the one. That's the one. That's the one I'm reading. I see. This is the thing. That title is a nightmare.
We're changing it.
I understand, but if I squint to read, that's the one. So okay, if you long for days when Peter Capaldi was still the Doctor, and all this made sense, this is the book to read. It's actually rather good. I have to tell you, it's actually rather good.
Like
You do get the voices of the good characters down. I have
Oh,
noticed. I have noticed.
Are
Yeah,
you
sorry.
watching them or are you reading them?
I go between the two.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so,
Your Romana Femme Fatale. Listen, very beautiful lady. What can I tell you? I do like it when it switches over to her visually. That's 100% true. From an audio point of view, you could just keep going and we're cool, right? That's all I'm saying.
All right.
Sorry,
you haven't got any further. Have you done episode 4 yet?
I'm in. I think I'm in episode 5. It's a 3-part,
aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in the middle of episode 5 right now.
Then
I can't review it until I get to the end of this one.
Right.
Which
well,
does this end of the story, or is there
anything about the way that she's portraying Romana?
Right.
Finish episode 5, do your review of that, and then do episodes 6, 7, 8. Yeah.
Okay.
And then come back and tell me again. But for now, let's. Just,
okay. I just like for me, Romana needs to be an English rose, or some.
The accent that is bothering you, right?
Yeah, I know. I do understand that is a London accent now, right? I do understand that's the way the world is, right?
It's a London accent, but it's actually flavored with Romanian, which I think is rather good.
Right. Exactly. so I like, for me, Romana has to be like again, some kind of English rose, like Juliet Lando. That's perfect.
Sorry that this particular regeneration of Romana happens to have branched out a little into different accents.
But you know what? She speaks so much in the traditional Romana way, right? That's the trouble. You get the dialogue so freaking right? So that it's speaking her voice, and so it's jarring. But listen. She's very, very nice to look at. She's a very attractive woman. What can I say? Right. Very, that was good casting in of itself. I would write something specifically for her though, with something with a Romanian character or something.
Watching.
Okay, fine. Anyway, fine.
Or reading.
I just want to point out how I will do anything rather than recap this nightmare of this. Fine. So, firstly, it's hosted by this woman called Melanie Garand, right? And I'm kidding you not, she is a Stepford wife, right? She is like hi, we are very excited. And I wish I was making this up. She is like, she's like being held at gunpoint, going, I'm so excited to hear about, I enjoyed that. Yeah, and literally, she's a Stepford wife. I'm really scared. I'm like, I was terrified for her. I forgot to say hello to the chat. That's my next thing. PD Rich, how you doing? So disaster area. That is what I will call that panel. John White here saying, they slayed themselves, mate. Right? They slayed themselves. This was really brutal. Right? This was just like a sea of bland non-information about a boring season that no one really wants and gives it, including the people making it. The only person excited is Jodie Whittaker, who's like, and there's and John Bishop is like, listen, they paid me. I guess I'm going to do this. Okay. I don't know. These fruits like to dress up like Daleks. Some of them. They come. I don't know. They seem weird to me. I couldn't go on stand up. They wanted him a job, so I said yes. Okay. That's essentially what happened, and that's what he's like all the way through the episode. And you get that vibe of like, I don't understand what any of these fucking people are talking about. They're all out their mind, right? They're all out like I just want to go and play darts. Leave me alone, okay? That's essentially what it's like. He's like your dad's mate who he plays darts with, right? Is suddenly in Doctor Who. That is the Chris Chibnall Doctor Who, right? Where they're excited about Grey Worm, that they're stroking themselves off over Grey Worm. Really? You didn't even get one of the big people from Game of Thrones, right? If you got a Richard Madden or somebody, that'll be somebody to be a special guest. Fucking Grey Worm, leave me alone.
Yeah.
If I may say so.
No, it's fine. But I think the silver lining is that they haven't ruined any more of our beloved Doctor Who.
Oh no! I see. I want them to go. Listen, they're so going for Phasmid, right? They're going to be going for Scissoring the TARDIS. That is so happening, baby. Scissoring a fucking TARDIS. That's what's going down, baby. Did you see Revolution of the Dalek?
Me?
Yeah.
I've not seen any of Chimbal.
Oh God, it's so bad.
This
so
is why
bad.
I haven't.
Oh, so actually, here's the annoying thing about Revolution of the Daleks was whenever she wasn't on screen, it sort of kind of felt it could have been a bit like Doctor Who.
I heard that. Yeah, I heard of that.
But whenever she comes on, she's like this wrecking ball. She is so bad. She's not just the worst person to play Doctor Who. She's actually the worst woman to play Doctor Who. Like, she's worse than Jo Martin. She's worse than Joanna Lumley. She's worse than, what's that, Arbella Weir. Right? She is the shittest, not just person, fucking woman to play Doctor Who. This one who
Joanna Lumley was rather good.
Yes, exactly. She had a bit enigmatic. Oh, God, she's so bad at this. And she so doesn't know how bad she is at it. She is just so unbearably awful. She plays it like Andy Pandy crossed with a Teletubby. I mean, she has no authority whatsoever.
I know. She doesn't come across as being very bright. That's for sure.
No, she really doesn't. But then she stands next to Mandip Gill, and she looks like she's from Mensa. And like Mandip Gill, bless her, and her brain is like a singularity. You know, it's so empty. It will suck in particles that get too close to it. Right? That is the emptiness. She's formed into a dark matter star. That is how empty her brain is. It would seem. What can I? Bless her, lovely girl.
Sorry. Well, I was going to say, professional pretenders, as they are, we shouldn't have massively high expectations for their intellectual capacity.
But I have expectations of basic functionality.
Yeah. And actually, the Doctor actors in the past have generally lifted the bar fairly high for actors anyway. I mean, Capaldi is always eloquent and intelligent. Matt Smith is actually very bright when he's being in interviews and in that sort of situation. David Tennant as well still is doing that the funny stuff with oh God, I forget his name, Martin Sheen. All this brilliance of all of them. Eccleston's the most rough when you get him in an interview, but he's still not.
Oh boy, his interviews. You got to be like very secure with yourself before you go to Eccleston. Like where would you like to go, Chris? Anywhere in time, anywhere in space. You can go in. It'd be magical. I go to Salford. Really?
Yeah, he's probably a little bit.
When do you want to go to Salford? Last Thursday. I had a nice pie then. That's why I'll go to Salford last. No, Chris, think bigger. Fine. I'll go last Tuesday week.
Yeah.
Why?
But even he's got a little bit more nous than Jodie Whittaker appears to have. I mean,
come on, that's not a bar. That's like saying friendliest Nazi.
Yeah, we don't.
You don't get that good.
Yeah, we don't set the bar high, but she somehow still buries herself in the ground under the bar somewhere.
Unbelievably, just unbelievable backup. So anyway, Chris Chibnall, fine. Let me go through the chat and let me keep going through this thing. We're only a couple of minutes into this
therapy,
nightmare. It's painful. Anyway, Dr. Lennox, you're there. Very good. How you doing? Dr. Maris, how are you? Mark Sadie, how are you? PD Rich, still there? It just jumped. They're on. This grudge. I saw Ethan Van Sciver was at a Sopranos con. I was like, oh, that sounds cool. Robert Payne. It was a boring non-event, wasn't it? Yes, it was. Why did we think it'd be anything different? It was that's exactly what it was, a boring, non-bloody event. Hit the like button, please. That'd be very nice. Yes, says Speedy Rich, and I cannot disagree with you, sir. Oh, you just put your channel in a few minutes ago. There we go. We're catching up. Paul Chadwick, how you doing? Trailer was awful, literally boring. Yeah, it was like a bit like boring. Chibnall's writing and Whittaker's acting. It was just like, oh, she's from Star. Okay, well, I'll get to the trailer. I got the beat by beat trailer all written out. I suffered. I pressed freeze frame. Ethan Burkhammer, how you doing? Tracy Thomas, how are you? Do not go and find this thing for. I'm telling you, I'm saving it big time. EC sending for us a big surprise special
guest. You died for our sins.
I did, yeah. Well, another Jew going there. Okay, big special guest. Did we expect anything earth-shattering from Chips? I just didn't expect anything this banal. right? This just empty and banal, which is what it was just banal. It's Grey Worm, House Special. Yeah, who gives a shit? And he's a lovely guy, but who gives this? Stephen Ambrose says shalom, and it just jumped again. Really, man? Here we go. 1 second. DC is here. Replace Secret Agony with Kristen Vander. Okay, or what's his name? Murray Gold. I like a bit of Murray Gold. Adam says, I've just watched Doctor Who season 13 panel, and it should have become the John Bishop show. Yeah, it was John Bishop trying to make small talk amongst a bunch of very socially awkward people. Right? That's exactly what it was. Oh, fine. So we have the sterile with Melanie McGrath. She's like from the Hall of Presidents. And she welcomes her in. Chibnall's just like, it's like a vampire caught in the daylight. Like, don't look at me! That's his vibe. Oh, I'm not exaggerating. And Jonah's like, hello, everybody, I'm Doctor Who. Oh, it's such a socially great construct of Doctor What? And she's no idea what she's bloody talking about. Mandip's like, Mandip, bless her. Her lot in life, where she should be in life, is being the girl who works like the makeup counter in Boots the Chemist, right? And she'll be great at it, right? She shouldn't have. If she's acting, fine. Holby City,
randomly spraying you with perfume as you walk past, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's the one. Exactly. But it's Holby City. But Doctor Who, come on, this is not fair. So anyway, they introduce Yaz as the Doctor's dear friend. Maybe a love that dare not speak its name. That's what I think is going to happen. Then they give a hint. The mysterious guest is from Game of Thrones, and we're going like, Mark Addy? Wasn't he in it already? Who else is Game of Thrones? Well, but that show the massive franchise.
Dinklage. Maybe it was Dinklage. Everyone's thinking.
Yeah. Great Doctor Who. I tell you, if they did an American version of Doctor Who, I always would like the idea of that, to see them do an American, just like completely different universe, an American version. All right. Have you ever seen the stuff they were supposed to do for the Paul McGann series?
I saw your videos on it, so I have been introduced to it.
Oh, there you go. Fine. I've told you everything I know, baby. Fine. So yeah, mysterious guest. Who gives a shit? One long story. It is. It's one long story. The trial of a Time Lording it. This basically was my commentary. Chibnall is charisma-less when he's talking about it. He's like, again, agony to be in this place. Like, don't look at me. Dude, just hire somebody. Oh man, could you use John Nathan Turner now? You little schmucko, right? Could you? I keep wanting to see John Nathan Turner ghost just turn up and laugh, like just go.
I
that
think
would be brilliant.
That quick Q&A where we first saw Chimble for the first time has hung like an albatross round Chimble's neck ever since. However, it's unfortunately an albatross around all of our necks right now because he's screwed over the very thing.
Yeah, the thing is, you just got to keep reminding yourself, this isn't Doctor Who, right? This isn't Doctor Who, right? It's just some weird aberration. It's a fever dream, I think. Let's look at it that way. So it's the biggest story they've ever done, most ambitious, epic. These are words they used to describe it.
I think the chase was longer than 6 freaking episodes. It's not, and that was in the first season of the. I think the first or sixth season of the first Doctor ever.
You've got War Games. Here's the thing: to write a lengthy multi-part story like that takes real writing chops. Like it was, what was it? Terrence Dick's work on Crossroads that made the War Games possible. I think, right? They'd be able to grind out, and War Games is a great freaking story, right? It just keeps everything. It just keeps getting good and hitting on all cylinders, and it keeps you interested. And it doesn't, even though it's like 10 episodes, it drags you right through. I was bored. It's going to be like there was mysteries. Oh my God, man, there's some terrible things people say, but I think by mistake. So Jodie, ever being the conformist, my I'm not sure if I said this over to you. My idea of Doctor Who, right, has to be an a massive authority, knows everything, but is anti-authoritarian.
Absolutely. I think that's true for all of them.
Apart from this one, who's a massive conformist.
No, all of them, because she doesn't count. But all of them
exactly. But why do they write she's a massive conformist with no authority? It's like, why would you write her like that? I don't understand. It's just so stupid. So, so being the conformist that she is, she explains why they aren't wearing masks and yet sitting next to each other.
Right.
Because the whole listen, I don't know where anybody is on the vaccine, not vaccine, mask, not vaccine. I just know it's a fault line, and people are getting really uptight by it. And I normally disagree with everybody who says masks and vaccines. And I don't mind wearing a mask and wearing the vaccine. Like, for me, it wasn't a big deal. Like, I'll do that. I don't give a shit.
Exactly.
But
fault line in the whole splitting the whole of society down the middle.
It really is. And I'm like, dude, I'm just whatever. Okay, I'll do whatever you guys tell me. Right? You don't want me to not take it? I won't take it anymore. Whatever. Okay, whatever they tell me.
I'm not that type of doctor. So yeah, you tell me what you think would be best. You know.
Yes, exactly. I'm not here for a fight. So anyway, she does that. Jodie speaks and really doesn't say anything. Huge emotional challenges, she says. And Mandip looks on adoringly. She does. It's so weird. I was like, I mean, for God's sake, why? Why? They got to start tongue kissing at some point. It's going to happen, isn't it? This is what's going to happen with Doctor Who. Dan acts like a human being before, say, Jodie. So Dan's acting normal. He's like taking, and he takes time out to say, "But Jodie, I can't do a Liverpool accent. Jodie and Mandip, they're just the bestest ever." And it goes on a bestest ever bit with them. Dan tells him how he turned the story down until COVID came along and he couldn't get any more gigs, right? So he went back and said, "Do you still have that job? I'll take it." But then he had to audition. Then Mandip chimes in that says, I never had to audition. You can tell, darling. You can tell. It's very, very apparent that you never had to audition.
What was the mysterious hiring process that you went through? I wonder.
I think it's being a brown-skinned person with a vagina.
How
right?
dare
I think that's the qualifying features, right? Listen, it's not me who's hiring it that way. That's Chibnall. I think it's abhorrent.
I know.
I wouldn't do that, boy. What can I tell you? Although listen, Nicola Bryant was hired really for like her mind wasn't her acting and her mind wasn't the number one reason she was hired. I support that hiring wholeheartedly, if I may say so. Had a very profound effect on me. Anyway, so it does anything huge. Dan acts like a human. Yes, it's the best ever. So Mandip did an audition. And then we have a few minutes of Mandip Gill, the wit and wisdom of Mandip Gill, and I can't take notes. I was like, just blah 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 blah, stupid. I made it through the pandemic. You did nothing. You sat in your bloody house filing your nails. Oh my God, that's not like surviving the Somme. What the hell's wrong with you? And that's how they.
Or dealing with Ebola, for example. that would be more credit worthy. And yeah, I was in the middle of the Ebola outbreak, dealing with everyone. Okay, fine.
No. I was there. She was just sitting in her house doing not much. Then we get a picture of the epic trio of Dan, the Doctor, and Yaz. The Doctor looks. I can't remember if she looks confused or she looks. Smug. She goes from the two, right?
Those are two moves that she has, isn't it?
Yes, two things that she can do. She tries to do angry, but it's not very good.
Smug fused, sort of a weird halfway.
Yes. So there, I was going to say that it's just a very boring picture, and they're like, "Oh, we're going to release a brand new picture." I'm like, "Well, who gives gives a shit? I mean, like, this is a publicity still. Why are you so excited? So Chibnall then talks about how excited he is for all the guest stars, and he's a one step away from actually stroking himself. At last, I can see how he's excited for something, and it's star fucking, by what I can tell. Like, he loves that. What he lives for. So then they say, and now we can tell you, because he's not saying anything about anything. Like, what's all the secrecy for, mate? No, it's not building up anticipation. It's just irritating people and making them lose interest. You stupid cunt. I mean, really? For God's sake, mate. How are you so shit at this? I can forgive you being shit at the writing of Doctor Who if you could at least try and sell it. But, oh, God's sake.
Do the other show running bits if you can't do the writing, which we've had very little evidence.
No, you know what he likes? You can tell because he talks about this at some point about how all the bits about making TV. He likes the scheduling. He likes making the charts. You know, that's the thing. He likes making like all the departments work together in harmony. That's the thing he likes. That's his work. You know, like have you ever read the Red Wolf books?
Wait. He is the fat controller from Thomas the Tank Engine. This is Chibnall, his personality. He likes scheduling.
100%. That's who he is. As 100%. This is what. Have you ever read the Red Wolf books?
I've not read the books. I've only seen most of the TV series.
Okay, so they have this thing about Arnold Rimmer when he's they're talking about him like how he always fails exams. It's because he always spends too much time making like these really beautiful, elaborate, revision timetables and graphs and things like that. And he spends all the time doing that. Why? Because he's basically a cartographer, and if he ever went into that would be his great thing, right? And he's very good at that. Same thing. What was I going to say? So Chibnall's really excited about his guest stars, not saying anything about the show, like whatever, arsehole. And then he says, "Now we're going to announce Jacob Anderson, who playing a new character, Vadir or some shit. Who gives a shit? What?
Jennifer Aniston?
No. Jacob Anderson, the Grey Worm from Game of Thrones.
Oh,
exactly.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Jennifer Anderson might be a bit bloody interesting. No. He said they say it's like a dream that they have. They got him. Like, who is this guy? Who gives a shit? And I'm like, it's gonna be a dream. It's gonna be a nightmare for him, mate. You know, when they find out where they are. Grey bloody worm. So John Bishop then tells the story of what he thought. Okay, this was weird. He said he was on set with a Grey Worm. And he said, the most embarrassing thing ever happened to me. So it tells the story and makes it sound like he was having a shit on set, by mistake. Like he was shitting himself on set. And in front of Grey Worm. Right? I was like, well, this is a hardcore story. So no, he was just farting. Right? I'm like, how is that the most embarrassing thing ever? That you farted in front. Listen, John Barrowman, bless him, when he wasn't getting his dick and waving it around, right? It like when they went into the TARDIS prop, him and Tennant and I think Billy Piper would have a farting contest. See who could have the worst fart while they were in there.
Is that a thing? Really? Yeah.
That really. Well, that's what they said. I mean, David Tennant said it in like one of the Doctor Who confidentials.
So what's this? I forgot the Liverpudlian guy's name. I've forgotten already. The one who's now in the series.
Who? Oh, John Bishop.
That's it. Thank you, John Bishop. So he's just trying to recreate that epic on-set feel from the Better series.
No.
Oh, okay.
He just farted by mistake. It was a very. It wasn't a really that embarrassing or interesting story in any way, shape, or form. But he told it nicely, though. He told it nicely. There we go. So Chips is talking about this character he wrote for Grey Worm. And he's saying, I prayed for him, I prayed we could get him, yay! And I'm like, what is this moron thinking? Who cares? Why are you highlighting this? Literally nobody cares. I just, what the hell? I mean, of course, the reason he's so excited, he's black, nearly. This Grey Worm guy, he's blackish. He's not white, right? So he's like, that's why Chib's all excited. Like, these guys are weirdos. I mean, these guys are literally like anti-science, racist, cult-leading weirdos, and they have complete control of the universe. It's very strange. So Vinder's his name. Mandip chat. Oh God, this is a great story. So Mandip Gill said how well she got on with Grey Worm, and saying they chatted for 7 hours on set, right? And then Jodie chimed in and said, what?
Poor Grey Worm.
Poor Grey Worm. Yeah, Jodie chimes in and says, everybody else sort of said it was torture. Yeah, he was like trapped there. It was like, oh yeah, next day he did say he was tired. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not surprised, darling. Oh my god. What was it? They keep talking about how fun it is to make the show. Who gives a shit? I'm glad you're having a good time, but can you make? That's only cute if you're making a good show. If you're making shit and you're talking about how much fun you're having, that's not so cute, right? Like when Matt Smith, and Karen Gillan and what's his name? By the way, that was a really weird part later. What's his name again? Karen Gillan's husband in.
I know Rory is the character.
Rory played by whoever Rory was played by. Rory the Roman.
Yes.
We'll call him Rory. Whatever.
Yeah.
When they were all clowning around, that was cute. They were making good Doctor Who, and it was very popular. It was doing very well, right? Now it's the worst ever, and they're like, we're having so much fun. I'm like, darling, you won't keep that to yourself, really?
You should be embarrassed. Yes.
Yes. Jodie tries to say her favorite bit of the Series 13, but she can't say anything because Chibs is a moron, right? She's like, oh, I want to say, oh, I can't say that. Oh, I can't say that. Again, what's the secret for? We know there's Sontarans. We know there's Reaping Aliens. We know they're Daleks. I mean, you could be rolling them out and getting excitement going. Could have got a really cool trade-off of Sontarans stomping around, right? And these Sontaran designs, freaking excellent, right? Absolutely. What did you think of the Cybermen design for? I'm sure you saw it for the Jodie Whittaker ones, Revolution. Oh no, what's it called again? Timeless Chat, whatever those ones.
I've only seen them in still through people's reviews. I remember vaguely the Cyber Time Lord outfits.
I actually quite like them, but I can understand people not liking them.
That was hardly something that I was really fussed about. I mean, it's not.
I have to tell you, best Cyberman design of all time.
Yeah,
I'm like, they were really good. I don't have much praise for the era. 100% the best Cyberman design of all time.
Yeah, they've got good visuals going on, good effects, great.
Sometimes. Wait. No, they don't universally. Okay. No. Also, in that episode, they have this digital model of a David Tennant era Cyberhead floating in space, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then, inexplicably, I think it's that they use the same 3D model to have flying Cybermen heads come and shoot laser beams out their eyes to get the Doctor. It's like a Victoria Wood sketch. I'm not even joking. Oh man, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's unbelievably bad. So you can't see what it is. We know about. So then we get to the fan question. 27 minutes in, where I get the fan questions. Mandip and Jodie
halfway through now.
Yeah. No, it's only 40 minutes. Thank God.
Oh.
Mandip and Jodie excited about an old monster, but they're not allowed to say more than that. Lots of cliffhangers.
John Barron.
It was yes, and then they talk about lots of cliffhangers. Then John Bishop, not realizing it's a bad thing, says, "Yeah, and there's a lot of unanswered questions." like you, so you've written it all badly, okay?
It just
okay, fine.
It just amazes me that they have written a 6-episode. So they've written a story instead of a season. I mean, it's fair enough. Every season has an arc usually, and that would be, I would say, a story that goes over the season. But the episodes are also episodic. They are of themselves episodes and stories. This is the height of laziness, and he's basically been a shite writer from the get-go. But this is scraping the bottom of the cesspit of shite. I can do one story for this season. God damn it! The guy should just take himself out of the game. Please remove yourself from this.
Honestly,
do the decent thing.
They had Paul Cornell was simpering around him like a year ago. You should just like Paul Cornell don't like him, think he's a douchebag. Great writer, great Doctor Who writer, right?
Certainly
Why don't they make him head writer for the series?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually no. What they really should have done with season 13 is make the whole thing Doctor Ruth, right? And don't explain anything. Just having good Doctor Who adventures and enjoy it, have fun with it. And then last episode, it's a Jodie one, and you find out, well, Timeless Children. You wrap it all up. Doctor Ruth, what's going on? Wrap it up. You claim victory. Boom, go home. You won. Okay? No, they're too stupid, aren't they? Anyway, so they asked him. What character would they swap with if they could be a different character? Mandip Gill would be Sasha Dewan's master. So opposite from her character, as in he had a character and she doesn't. Jodie would be Missy. Okay, John Bishop. John Bishop can't answer, and honestly, by this point, 31 minutes and 3 seconds in, he looks like he's been kidnapped by psychos, right? He really does. He looks like he's been kidnapped by circus clowns. It's all very strange. It's all very strange. So then they talk about what Doctor Who means to them, and Chibnall is. It starts off interesting and gets boring when he starts talking about and the lighting and the gosh, you're so boring. He's so boring. God, he needs to be stuffed into a locker so badly. That's where he belongs in life.
Spotter been inexplicably promoted above his competency level to writer, then showrunner.
Unbelievable. I like how this happened is beyond me. But then, and I'm doing
greasy holes he's been climbing over the years.
Well, they're all good at politics, aren't they? That's how they get where they're going. So this tomorrow, I'm going to do a video. I'm going to take this clip. We're going to do it's about a 3-minute clip when Jodie answers, and she talks about being a Doctor Who fan and how great it is being in Doctor Who. You're not a Doctor Who fan. You never saw it before. Don't you like? What? Who are you? like you just said that. We Doctor Who fans remember these things. When he said, should I research Doctor Who and watch the old ones? And Jim was like, nah, you shouldn't have gone. You've never seen, you weren't a fan? It's on camera. It's on tape. So she's talking about how much she loves the loyalty of Doctor Who fans. Yeah, I'm sure they do. Imagine if there was more than just a handful of weirdo kids who weren't sure what a boy or a girl was, right? Can you imagine if you had normal people too? Wow, you might even like it. Then 2 or 3 minutes later, her speech is turned into like PC work salad, like inclusion, up, down, like whatever. Oh God, it's awful. So then we by 37 minutes and 18 seconds we get the trailer as Jodie walking up into camera, out of focus and into focus. She's got a little serious face on. Ooh, she's got a serious face on. So that means anything. Then we get rainbows in space. Ooh, the rainbows! Yay! With GGQ plus. Yay! We know what the rainbows mean. It's not just rainbows. We like the trans people. That's what we're saying. We know that's what you think, mate. I don't know why they're freaking hiding. Everybody knows, okay? And then with that, all the rainbows. It says the Doctor returns. More worried face Doctor now turning around, doing one of those things. Ooh, very spooky. More rainbows. 4. Then we get grey one from Game of Thrones, and then more rainbows. It says her. And then the Doctor looking at the camera, looking at it from the POV of a little flying bug thing by the looks of it. She tries to reach up to it. More flying rainbows. Biggest. Blink and miss it. You see the little flying robot things. More flying rainbows. Adventure. And then Dan landing in the TARDIS. Looks like he's falling through space and lands in the TARDIS. Yet is the final caption. The fade to black. Then you get the TARDIS effect going through the vortex, a very rainbowy vortex, because it's rainbows. We love rainbows. We see My Little Pony in the background. So we have then we have cut to a shot. The Doctor is wet, hers wet, and her hands are up with Yaz and Dan, and she's introduced. I'm the Doctor. She's Yaz. He's Dan. I'm like, okay. We see a close up of Dan. And then we see, oh yeah, there we go. Have Dan look stupid and Yaz look the best as ever. Yet Dan is climbing down a rope or something and goes flump, plops on the ground in the background while Yaz is sitting in the foreground. They're all both in period costume, and Yaz is being like looking into something studiously, and Dan just fell down and bumped his head because he's a silly boy, and she's a strong female. Oh, stunning and brave. It was a really weird little bit where they stopped the story. What was it? In Timeless Children, I think, or the one before it, where they just stopped it to say, oh yes, you're the best as ever. And they did it for like 3 minutes. So it was weird. And then a couple of minutes later, they did it for the Doctor. Doctor, you're the best as ever. I can't believe you're going to sacrifice yourself for Gallifrey. And then she goes, and there's another guy from Game of Thrones sacrifices himself for Gallifrey, and so the Doctor can fly off in a different TARDIS. Don't ask. It does. None of this matters.
Thank you.
There you go. Then they have a shot that they're flying on a broomstick or something. No, we can't really tell. Yes, the Doctor, you're hiding something. And the Doctor, oh, go scratch your face. Oh, Doctor telling everybody to get inside the TARDIS. Shit scared, because this is the Doctor who's terrified and shit scared. Dan falling down on a sci-fi tube. Doctor using catapult with a tongue like that. I'm like, really? Really? It's only cute if you actually, you have some competency as well. If you have no competency whatsoever, you being bumbling is just really annoying.
Yeah.
Well, up to them.
With past Doctors has been an act. The bumbling
yes.
Was an act. The bumbling at the third Doctor in particular, the third Doctor had lots of displays of actual competency, and even the fourth, lots of competence. And occasionally would trip over his own scarf, but it was balanced. Whereas this is just ineptitude all the way down.
It's and why do they think this works when you have stone cold cast iron data that tells you it doesn't? Like, I don't know. Like, it's just, I think they're doing their best. So then we get more rainbows. We got headshots of Dan, Yaz, Grey Worm.
I'm picking up signals. They're virtue signals.
Oh yes. Virtual signaling, yes. Virtual signaling to 10, Mr. Christian. With lots of headshots, and then ends up on a very smug-looking Doctor. More rainbows, and then the Doctor returns late this year. Don't tell us in when. Okay, no.
Later the better.
Oh God, hopefully 6 episodes.
Oh, by the way, I am in the 9th episode of my season 13. I hope now, with your partial reports of whatever they've not told us, I'm ever more hopeful I will have finished my entire season of 13, not 6 freaking episodes, 13 episodes before they get their 6 piles of excrement onto our screens.
Yeah, I think you got till December before they finish the run. I really do.
I'm still going to work as if it is going to be mid-August. That way I'll actually have a stick up my ass and get this thing working.
It's always good to have a rocket up your ass. So wait, then there's one more thing. You have an after titles sequence where the Doctor's like to Yaz, do you have any questions? Oh, good, no. And Yaz is like, I don't know what's going on. And then who cares? So there you go. That's the trailer. And then thankfully it's nearly over. They get one more question each, and the answer is fed to them clearly by a BBC production rep. They ask, what's the one-word description of season 13 you would use? Mandy Gill goes, riveting. John Bishop, clearly reading from a cue card. Inspirational? Yeah, okay, fine. Jodie Whittaker goes, and I love it when she does this face and she thinks she's being cool, and she's so not. She goes, Mysterious. And that's not mysterious, darling. Okay? Anyway, you do that in a bar, you run away. And then Chibs actually gives a one-word description of the season, Swarm. That's the Swarm. And so here's the interesting thing, though. Season 13 is premiering on BBC America and AMC Plus, not HBO Max. What happened there? And it's not going to be on HBO Max. You can get seasons 1 to 12 on HBO Max, but you can't get season 13 there.
Have HBO Max dropped any other crappy series that have become unbelievably poorly written recently?
Lovecraft County.
Okay, what about did they ever carry STD?
No, that was always Paramount Plus or CBS All Access, whatever, and Netflix International.
Well, obviously their own Game of Thrones went into the toilet for the last season or two. So I understand. I never got that far. But maybe they're not.
It imploded completely.
But maybe they're not keen on paying for shite.
What it was the showrunners ran out of the source material, and they were really into cocaine. Right? They were really super into cocaine. So they thought the things they were writing was good, and then they aired them, and everyone went, "What is this shit?"
If you don't mind doing a quick diversion, we can always go back to torturing yourselves with the Chimbal and Jodie Whittaker stuff. But Game of Thrones always struck me as a mass. I was thinking of doing a video about this, but I'm never going to have the time now. Of the wasted opportunities of writers they've overlooked. So they banked all this money, time, and effort on George R.R. Martin, the guy whose very name was a rip-off from Tolkien. And I never really got into him because I was starting to watch 4 seasons of it. I could see so many other authors he was ripping off, like blatantly ripping off, not just doing a nod and a wink. He's like, well, there's Lovecraft. There's, damn it. It goes out of my head. The guy who wrote Conan. I should know this off the top of my head. And it'll come back to me. And more
Robert E. What is
Howard.
Robert E. Yeah.
Howard, yeah. It was just really blatant. I've stolen that. I've stolen that. I've stolen that. And the albino dragon riders, the Targaryens in other words, was just the icing on the cake. So you're ripping off Moorcock as well. And this is what I would like to make a video on at some point, probably never get around to. It's like, Michael Moorcock is wasted would be the title, which is also clickbait because Michael Moorcock is pissed again. No, that's not what I mean. What I mean is there is so much material there. You could have done.
Well, you got the whole Cornelius stuff. That would be huge.
Yeah. Hawkmoon, Coram, obviously, and Elric, the most obvious one you could possibly pick. But there's just acres of material there, and he's still alive.
Have you seen the trailer? Have you seen the trailer for the Dune movie?
No, I haven't. But I remember you were talking about it. I think at some point.
Oh, it's good, mate. It's really, really good. It feels like the cover of a cool 1970s edition. You know,
a pre-Star
Wars. Yeah, it is really cool. So anyway, listen. Sorry, you asked me about Game of Thrones.
Well, yeah, I was just thinking that HBO should not have been chasing after George R.R. Martin's still yet to be produced output. They should have been just using the vast swathe of past authors that they've got complete
these
stuff.
These are TV executives. They're morons. Right? You know, it's like they get lucky. Sometimes they get lucky and somehow good shows get made. But mostly TV executives are morons. You know, they get their job through Protexia because they can't do anything else. Occasionally you get somebody who's good at their job, like Philip Hinchcliffe. He got his job going out of Protexia, you know, but it turned out he could do it as well. So it all works out. Well.
Yeah. But
there's so much like they could do Conan, there's Luther Arkwright, there's so many things, so many rich rich law. But I have to tell you, okay, listen, I have to go in a minute. One thing I am enjoying about your book, I'll tell the audience. There's a really good bit of world building when you go to the planet. I do enjoy if you like old school, like 1930s style sci-fi told in a modern day setting. That's kind of vibe I got with it.
You're the second person. Sorry, who you're talking about the Mondas world building, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, old media guy was saying, I really like your world building for Mondas. And I was always
I like that.
I was always a little bit wary or scared of those 3 episodes because in my head, the pacing slows down a bit for those. Because I am doing some world building. They are exploring that world a little bit more in depth than some others.
It's a longer story. That's the bottom line. It's a longer story.
Yeah, but it actually, I'm really pleased that you and Old Media Guy both regard that as being good world building, a good story. I always worry too much about it, obviously.
No. Listen, everyone's self-conscious about the world. Fine. Listen, I got to go. It's been an hour. For me, it's 10:15, so it's a good 2 hours past my bedtime. It's you never know what could happen. Make sure you don't get water on me past midnight, and don't expose me to bright light.
Tons of other rabbis burst out of your
stomach. You have no idea what can happen. And that's how Jews reproduce. Anyway, we got to fold the horns down first before we go out in public. You know where they came from, by the way?
No, what was
the Jews having horns? Because the Moses was described as having Keren or beams of light would come out of Moses, right? But the word for beams is also Keren, is horns. So when Leonardo da Vinci did a statue of Moses, he wanted to be biblically accurate, and he was translated by the monks as horns. Horns like, so he put horns on. They thought, oh, Jews have horns. That makes sense.
Oh God.
That's where it came from, baby. So funny. Well, fine. With that, I'm going to hit the end broadcast button. I'm going to hit it.